There's a reason Afghan mothers are handing their babies to us.
We're using Bill Maher as our stepping block to jump into some very interesting issues.
Stepping stone.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
In today's video, Paul and Morgan are talking about Afghanistan. And we're using Bill Maher, kind of surprisingly, because he's Bill Maher, as our stepping block. Bill Maher recently said some stuff on his show about Afghanistan, about America. It's kind of a big deal the way he approached it. Bill Maher actually ended up trending on Twitter for this clip, so it's garnering lots of reaction. It's worth talking about.
Before we get into that though, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We make videos on culture and social issues from a Christian perspective to help you have hope.
And be free. And I was looking at the analytics recently, and I saw that about 60% of viewers, like of our regular viewers, are not subscribed. So only 40% are, and I was like,
60%?
Wow. So guys, if you're enjoying our content, why wouldn't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button? Do it.
That's
Do
insane.
it. Do it now. Shake my hand.
And also, you have one more week, September 9th, before our merch is gone.
In the world, but of the Word of God.
Go to thepaulandmorganshow.com to get your merch today.
Linked below. So Morgan, I take it that you hadn't watched this clip that I showed you. It's about a 4-minute clip from his show. You hadn't watched it till earlier this morning.
You are correct.
Before we start playing some of the clips and responding to it, what was your immediate thought?
My immediate thought to watching it was that it's so true. We have no idea how amazing we have it in America. To be someone who complains, it's just like
the oppression.
Yeah, the
and
oppression.
You've actually embraced this doctrine that America is just an awful place, and we're seeing more and more waves of that, more and more taught in colleges. And so yeah, people are literally embracing this, and this video is a wake-up call. And what's so interesting is this video is not coming from a Ben Shapiro, it's not coming from a Matt Walsh, Ali B. Stuckey. This is Bill Maher. Like, yeah, Bill Maher is known to be edgy, but he's not a conservative. And so to hear him calling out the woke, calling out these ways of thinking, is really refreshing. Let's do this. Let's play the first clip.
Have a little perspective about the stuff we howl about here. I'm sorry your professor said something you didn't like. That won't be a problem with the Taliban because you're not allowed to go to school. In Saudi Arabia, grown women can be jailed for doing the kind of things we think of as routine without the permission of a male guardian. China rounds you up if you're the wrong religion and puts you in camps. More children in Burkina Faso work than are in school. Only 5% of Burundians have electricity. The homicide rate in Honduras is 8 times what it is here. The inflation rate in Venezuela is 2,719%.
He's going to get more specifically into Afghanistan, but he starts by saying, let's just look at what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I think it's just a very quick rundown of some things that are going on, not just in Afghanistan, but in China and Saudi Arabia, all these other places. And it's just a wake-up call and reality check of none of that stuff is happening over here. And I do just want to go ahead and say, like, I think it's okay to recognize that America does not have it all figured out. There are still some major issues in America that need to be talked about, but compare it to what is going on around the world. We are the most free country. We are the most, progressive country.
Our freedoms that we have here are so special.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we just take them for granted. And Bill Maher starts actually earlier in this monologue, and he says, like, Republicans can overhype just how much we love our country to the point where it goes too far. He admits that.
It's just in the conservative DNA to have this dewy-eyed, sloppy, drunk love for their country that often renders them incapable of acknowledging its problems.
And we agree with that. But again, nothing like other countries.
Let's keep going. Let's get further into this monologue. We're not going to play the full, even 4-minute monologue. We're just going to play clips from it.
If you think America is irredeemable, turn on the news or get a passport and a ticket on one of those sketchy airlines that puts its web address on the plane. There's a reason Afghan mothers are handing their babies to us.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, you see Afghan mothers handing their babies to U.S. Army personnel, but you watch some of the large parts of ideology coming out of colleges and out of literal like young people that are just truly, it sounds like, I don't know if hate America is the right word, but they think America is so bad. So bad, like from the core. You would think that there would be planes coming in from other countries and our American mothers handing their babies to be evacuated from America. But then you actually think about that, it's completely absurd.
Yeah, and these people who continue to scream that America is awful and disgusting and horrible have yet to leave.
That is quite an interesting phenomenon, isn't it?
They continue to stick around and keep their job. And
Why the people that want America to be more socialist, the people that think America, is so oppressive to so-and-so and so-and-so, why haven't you left?
Right.
I mean, why didn't the actors and celebrities leave when Trump was president?
That said they were going to.
Why not? Tell us. I answer it, please.
But any immigrant will tell you we've largely succeeded here, and yet the overriding thrust of current woke ideology is that America is rotten to the core, irredeemably racist from the moment it was founded, and so oppressive, sexist, and homophobic, we can't find a host for the Oscars or Jeopardy. And this is where your new Afghani roommates that you took in will prove so valuable, because they'll turn to you and say, have you people lost your minds? Have you ever heard of honor killings? Public beheadings, throwing gay men off of roofs, arranged marriages to minors, state-sanctioned wife beating, female genital mutilation, marriage by capture? Because we have.
We just have no idea.
We have no grid for it.
We can't even try to imagine what that's like. It's crazy to me how much we take our freedom for granted.
Bill said several minutes earlier there was a comedian, an Afghan comedian, that made comedic, I guess, political songs on TikTok, and the Taliban got him and they tortured him and killed him in a car. And Bill's like, I've had my issues here with presidents getting upset with me, specifically Trump and George Bush, but he does not have to fear that.
I just hope that everything that's going on in this world is a wake-up call for Americans to really just sit and realize how blessed we are, how spoiled we are. And it's not to say that you can't mourn the trials that you face on a daily basis, even if they are, compared to other people's, not as big of a deal. They're still a big deal in your life. And I don't think that God is looking at you saying, get over it. Other people have it way worse. Like, he wants to walk with us in our trials as well. But again, it is just a beautiful and tragic reminder. We need to stop taking certain things in our lives for granted.
Let's get back into the clip. But one thing that Bill fails to do that would have been really nice is go ahead and go after Biden and the Biden administration for, in my view, a very, very troubling, poor way they've handled this Afghanistan situation and the evacuation. There was a tweet that was like, it's either incompetence from the Biden administration that's causing this to be a crap show, or it's moral incompetence. It said something like that, meaning morally, it's just so, like, they're in such a bad place that it's causing this to go to hell. The weakness that they've demonstrated in going about it, the ideologies of putting America last. And there were a few things I shared on Instagram yesterday from a few different people. Read the Allie B. Stuckey post.
This is Allie B. Stuckey talking on Biden's administration's handling of Afghanistan. Left billions of dollars worth of weapons for the Taliban to sell to China, Iran, and Russia. Wouldn't permit our military to leave the airport to go retrieve civilians like other nations did, thus forcing Americans to try to make it to the airport with other evacuees. The chaos and crowdedness made it a target for the terrorism that killed 170 Afghans and 13 American soldiers. Gave a list of names of Americans and allies to the Taliban to ensure safe passage, knowing full well the Taliban is targeting these people. Reports of Taliban ruthlessly beating Americans and refusing to allow them into the airport. Ordered all troops to evacuate, leaving behind an unknown number of Americans. And General McKenzie calls the Taliban's Afghanistan our generous host nation. America last is wicked, heartless policy. Good leaders put their people first.
Yeah, and Morgan and I are by no means like foreign policy experts, but we're just looking at this stuff.
It just seems like common sense, you guys. It really does. I don't know.
I don't think it takes geniuses to see and say what is happening here, what we're witnessing from the current presidential administration and their handling is not good. And I know some of you guys hate when you hear these words, but I miss Donald Trump because the way he would handle this, I believe, would be much, much better. Let's keep going.
What's the lesson of Afghanistan? Maybe it's that everyone from the giant dorm room bitch session that is the internet should take a good look at what real oppression looks like. Ask your maid. Ask your Uber driver. Ask the Asian woman giving you a massage. She'll tell you this place is Shangri-La, and not just because she works in a place called Shangri-La.
We used to go to a church where a man fled from Cuba on a tiny little raft and made it here because he was leaving this oppressive, terribly led country. That's just one story out of millions upon millions of people.
America may not be the country of your faculty lounge and Twitter dreams, but no one here tries to escape by hanging on to an airplane.
Guys, this stuff is heavy and it's hard to hear and watch. I'm challenging you guys to stay informed. Obviously, you got to figure out that balance. Don't become so informed that you're so depressed and can't function throughout the day. But don't be afraid to hear the heavy stuff and go to the Father in prayer over this. This is a challenge to myself as well, to just be in more prayer for what is going on in the world.
And I think a reason to be informed is so that honestly, the next election cycle, presidential election cycle comes around, local elections, we see that these actually are very weighty things.
And it does make a difference. It does matter.
Like I said, I'm not just jumping on the, oh, I miss Trump. Trump did everything perfectly. I'm not, but I sincerely think that if Trump was in office, if his administration, they would, and just based off of some of the track record we've seen, some of the strength that he led with, and I think showed other nations, there's very real, very heavy, very weighty implications to who we vote for. Guys, comment below if you were impressed with Bill Maher, what this talk show host was sharing. I applaud him. I applaud the man. It's cool to see that. Make sure you're giving this video a thumbs up to help the algorithms and help our videos do well in YouTube. All right, we love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free.
Bleh.